Alright, hello everyone and welcome! How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. I see more and more people are joining the stream. Sorry for the kind of unpredictable beginning of the stream. I didn't know when I was going to be able to start today because today is a saucy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Which means that this morning, Leanna and I were making a pot of homemade Italian sauce. We were frying up sausage, we were grinding the tomatoes, we were seasoning, we were stirring, we were doing all kinds of stuff. And because of this, you know, we do this about every 2 months or so, and it makes about 6 batches of sauce, enough for 6 meals or so. Actually, it's about 7 meals, because today we'll actually have some fresh sausage grinders, sausage and mozzarella parmesan grinders with salad. And then later in the week we'll have pasta. We basically get about 6 pasta dishes out of it, too. So we're doing this morning, but it takes time, and we don't exactly know. Let me put it this way: it's not a precise science, all right? So we don't know exactly how long it'll take us to do this. And the bottom line is, it didn't really matter how long it was going to take us, because today we're doing Minecraft Story Mode Episode 4, and this is the perfect opportunity to do it today, since I knew that we were going to be starting much later than usual. You know, we're here almost an hour and a half after when I usually would start my stream, since I have begun streaming earlier. And excuse me. And so, knowing that this game has the episodic releases that are roughly around an hour and a half long, a few of them have been shorter than that. Some people have been telling me this one's actually a little bit on the longer side, around 2 hours long. I figured this is the perfect time to do it, because here's the thing: it's a shorter episode, or it's a shorter than a normal stream, so I can take time every half an hour or so to go stir the sauce or season the sauce, and it won't destroy the stream. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these times when I'm doing a stream like this, and I have to take frequent breaks, it can be a pain in the ass, but being that this isn't going to be very long, it should fit perfectly into the time that I have to stream. Okay? So, yes, this stream will be Minecraft Story Mode Episode 4, which actually came out about a week and a half ago. Again, kind of out of nowhere. Telltale has been just kind of willy-nilly releasing these episodes without really any prior warning. It's like a day or two before they'll say, oh, it's coming out this week. And you're like, whoa, well, I certainly didn't plan to play it. You know, I've been busy with other stuff, and that's kind of what happened with me, was that this came out, I believe, Christmas week. And I was too busy doing other stuff. You know, I was finishing up other playthroughs and working on the Christmas special, and I just didn't have time to play it then. But I knew I was going to eventually do it, being that I really have enjoyed Minecraft Story Mode as I've played it over the past several months. Now, to be quite honest, with the rate that this has been going, I almost expect that this will be over. This game will probably conclude sometime in January, if not February, because, 5 episodes, and we only got 4 of them within 3 months. Pretty crazy. So it is what it is. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. But what I'll do is we'll do a little pre-stream here as people are joining. I'll go and I'll stir the sauce one more quick time before we get started with the actual gameplay, alright? So I got some updates for everyone. First of all, it's snowing outside. Yes, ladies and gents, it is the very first snow of the season, the first snow of the year, and it's actually only the second time it has snowed since we've lived in Washington for over a year and a half. So just to give you an idea, they don't usually get too much snow out here. And typically when they do get it, if there's any accumulation, the whole state kind of closes down, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, I came from the East Coast, and on the East Coast, when it snows, people are like, eh, and they pretty much get back to their normal lives. They pretty much fight through it and either get to work or school or whatever. Although, in recent years, there was quite a lot of school cancellations and stuff because of snow. I guess it's a lot different now than it was when I was a kid. When I was younger, the people would tough through the snow. Now it seems like people are getting too soft. They're getting too soft. Oh well. But anyway, it's nice. It's nice to have a little bit of a dusting here of snow. We don't know if it's going to accumulate at all or not, but it's nice. It looks nice. So that's number one. Number two, I want to give everyone an update with the whole Patreon situation. Alright? And what I mean by that is, It's funny because I was saying it all during December. I said, I don't know if we're going to hit the goal or not for the month of December for Patreon funding because it's very uncertain. I can't tell who's pledging is legit, who's a troll, who's going to get declined. I can tell you this, in December, we had a record number of pledgees. More people pledged to my Patreon than ever before. I think because people really are supporting my new efforts this year with the new channel that's going to launch soon and stuff like that. But in addition to that, they really wanted to see the Rockathon happen again because they really liked the one from November. However, with the most pledgees ever also comes the most declined pledges. We had 28 people who were declined, which means for whatever reason, when Patreon went to process their pledge for December, it didn't go through. And because of that, hundreds of dollars. It would be one thing if it was like $50, a big deal, right? Hundreds of dollars that were pledged to me didn't go through. So here I was thinking, you know, you don't know what's going on. I was thinking, honestly, I thought we were going to hit the goal no problem. Because I'd seen we had so many people pledging for the, you know, that for December. And the funding looked like it was actually going to be way above and beyond what the goal was. And, you know, typically I like to be positive. But unfortunately, it went canceled out. So right now, we are under the goal. All right. Now, I messaged everyone on Patreon last night who was declined. So far, I've gotten 3 responses. Okay. One guy said that he pledged during the middle of December, and apparently he was already charged, and he can't understand why it wouldn't have gone through and shown as that he was processed. That's completely wrong. Like, Patreon doesn't do that. Patreon only charges on the first week of the month. So what that's telling me is either this guy's completely full of it or an error happened, a really oddball error that I've never heard of before. So I don't know if that guy's legit or not, okay? Another person responded and said, oh, sorry, it's an honest mistake. I have 2 major credit cards that I use, and the old one that I had there for Patreon info was my expired one, so I've now updated it with the new info. And then a third person also said, sorry about that, you know, I'm repledging now to try to fix it. So I don't know, between those 3 people, if it is legit, and if they're not pulling my leg, you know, if those clear, if we're going to hit the goal. It could, if all 3 of them clear, we definitely will hit the goal. But what I'll basically say is this, all right? If you did pledge in the month of December, thank you. If your pledge cleared, thanks a lot. If your pledge didn't clear, or if you're not sure, please check out Patreon. I private messaged everyone who was declined, and if just a few people get their info updated, and it processes, we're good to go. It's not like we were ridiculously far away. You know what I mean? It's not like we're a million miles away from the goal. We're not. We're actually very close. But I cannot just do a goal without hitting the goal level. Like, that's the point of the goals, is to motivate people to pledge so that I can make enough money to keep doing this full time, right? As you know, I'm not living some exorbitant lifestyle where I'm eating fucking caviar every day and I'm rolling in dough. And, you know, I wanted to go on vacation for over 2 years and I just can't afford it. And, you know, with these contract renegotiations, I'm going to make a lot less money this year. You know, and I work every single day. It's very rare when I even take a day off. You know, it is what it is. So, you know, it helps. This Patreon stuff helps me to still do this full time. But I want to do the goal. I want to do the Rockathon 2.0, but I have to stick to my guns. If I don't stick to my guns and I just decide to just do every event, even if we don't hit the funding, then what's the point of having goals, right? There's no motivation. It's a motivational tool, and I need to keep at it. I need to stick to it. So hopefully we do hit the goal. I'll let you know. I'll keep everyone in the loop over the next few days as to what happens. If there's an update, a positive update, I'll certainly let everyone know. But basically, I should know by the end of about a week. Usually it takes about a week for everyone to process. If people update their info, then Patreon will try to reprocess that pledge. And here's hoping, fingers crossed, we hit it. I would love to do another Rockathon. I loved the first one. But, you know, I've got to. I have to stick to my guns or else there's no point in even doing goals, right? Okay. Some positive updates for everyone. This week's going to be a fun week. This week coming up we're going to be continuing and finishing up some odds and ends. So, for example, tomorrow I'm returning to Assassin's Creed Syndicate for the final time. And we'll be checking out the endgame stuff that I've wanted to do since I beat the game back in, what was it, October or early November. I've wanted to go back to the game and haven't had a chance. I'm doing that tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. Later in the week, I'll be finishing up Rise of the Tomb Raider. So that'll be good. That's an ongoing playthrough that's been going on for a long time now. And we're finishing that up this week. So that's cool. In addition, yes, I'll be playing more Yakuza 5. I really don't know how many people are interested in it at this point, because last session, the game went from being typical Yakuza gameplay to training Haruka to be a teen idol in Japan. And although it could be eye-opening to the culture of Japan, which it was for me, it has nothing to do with the normal gameplay of Yakuza. We're doing button tapping and mini-games. But I want to continue with that. That'll also continue this week. And then the biggest thing, I think, this week for most people watching my gameplay, I am going to be starting a new game on Tuesday. I'm not sure what game it's going to be. It's going to be between Undertale and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I want to play either one. I really don't care. Either one sounds really interesting to me. And people have wanted me to play both of these games. So there is demand for both. But I'm curious to see what people will say they want to see more. And not necessarily that I'm going to go with that, because I am going to play both games this month regardless. But I'm curious. So I think tonight I'm going to set up a poll on Twitter. And I'm going to see what people vote for. If they'd rather see me do one or the other. I don't know what people will say. I guess we'll find out, right? And then, you know, I'm going to make my own decision during the week. It's not necessarily going to be based off the results of the poll. But I would like to at least get some input from everyone. So look on Twitter tonight, @TheyCallMeDSP on Twitter. There'll be a poll regarding a new game this week, and I'm curious what everyone will vote for. Okay? And that's going to start on Tuesday. Whatever I decide will start on Tuesday. And then we'll have a, you know, it's not going to be consistent every day. It's probably going to be every few days when I'm going to play it. And then once I finish up with all this other stuff, like Assassin's Creed and Rise of the Tomb Raider, etc., then it's going to be more consistent. And then next week, I'll start whatever game I didn't start this week. So it'll be Yakuza 5 and a new game this week. And next week, then whatever the other game is. All right? Because the only other thing, the bottom line is the only other thing this month is Resident Evil 0. So really, it's a light game month. There's not much going on, which is why I kind of want to do these more downtime series now before it gets crazy. Because February is going to be crazy. February, there's a lot of releases. Especially just with Street Fighter V alone, it's going to be very time-consuming for me. Okay? So, ladies and gents, that's kind of the deal for this week, just so you know. Now, paired with that, paired with all that gameplay, will be my year-end series, continuing. I'm going to work on this tonight a bit, and see if I can at least get one video out tonight, if not more. We're going to start with the conclusion of my favorite playthroughs of 2015. And then I'm going to do another mini-series. It's going to be the best and worst things that happened to DSP Gaming as a business this year. Because I think there were many, many positive improvements and things that went well. And there were also, unfortunately, some negative things. So it's kind of a recap of the state of the business. And then there will be the funniest moments. The fan-voted funniest moments of the year. That'll be coming up later in the week. And then finally, last but not least, probably next week will be the Game of the Year Awards. Which will be good, because then I'll finally have kind of finished off all the stuff for the year. I'll have a good understanding of how I felt about all the games. Right now, quite honestly, it's tough. Right now, there's 3 games I have in mind in particular that I liked so much that I would probably name all of them Game of the Year. And now I don't know. Now I don't know which game I'm going to pick for my Game of the Year. I have to kind of mull it over. So I'm glad I have a week to think about it. So that's the year-end series. Every night, you're going to be seeing new year-end series starting tonight, released. Boom, boom, boom. Probably the only day you won't see it is Saturday coming up, because Saturday is the day when I'm out doing errands and such. But every night, you'll have new year-end series. So for those of you who liked the most disappointing games of the year and really enjoyed these first couple videos of my favorite playthroughs of the year, stay tuned. This week, every night, new year-end videos coming out for you. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then, of course, once the year-end videos are done, then I'm going to fully commit myself to my new endeavor of more vlogging, a new channel for edited content, paired with the raw gameplay. Alright, so that's coming up. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm drinking a seltzer. Oh man. Woo! Drinking a seltzer and oh boy. So everybody, thank you very much for being here on the stream. More and more people are joining, by the way. More and more people are joining. Now, today is Saucy Sunday, so I do want to remind everyone, alright, that on a Saucy Sunday, I do need to stir the sauce. So roughly every half hour or so, I'll be taking a short break to run downstairs and season and stir sauce. So I just want to make that clear. We are going to have some interruptions during the gameplay. You know, it is what it is. We do this at once every 2 months. And, you know, I certainly know that it could be jarring, but that's why we're doing a shorter thing today, right? That's why we are doing it this way, rather than something that was more of a longer length playthrough. I know this is only about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, so taking a few breaks during it won't really throw stuff off, you know what I mean? Okay. I do apologize, my nose is really congested today. I woke up and I was like, oh man, I could barely breathe. And I was hoping that making the sauce would have helped my nose. It did not, unfortunately. So I took some decongestant about 20 minutes ago, right before I started the pre-stream. And I'm trying to, I'm hoping it's going to kick in soon. Because my nose is freaky congested. And, you know, it's annoying. Especially when, you know, my work is talking, and commentary, and gameplay. And if I sound bad, it ruins the product, right? It really does. It affects it negatively. So I'm hoping it's going to kick in soon. I think it's because the dry heat's been on so much recently. We've had a lot of very cold, below freezing weather, which, of course, the heat goes on then to heat the house. And I think that it's affecting my sinuses negatively. So hopefully it warms up again soon. But it looks like this week in particular is going to be pretty cold, and we may have snow a few days this week, from what I'm understanding. So, oh well, that's life, right? It is what it is. Oh my goodness. Alright, well everybody. Well, that sounded great. Well everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm going to begin shortly. What I will do, I'll end the pre-stream. I'll run downstairs quickly. I'll give the sauce a final stir. Then we'll begin with gameplay. And then, like I said, about every 30 minutes or so during the gameplay, I'll have to run downstairs to stir the sauce a little more. And that's pretty much it. Tonight, the weekly preview, and tonight, there will be more year-end series released, so I hope you'll check those out. All right. Okay, everyone. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's get started with gameplay. First, sauce stirring, and then gameplay. So give me a moment here. I'll be back with Minecraft Story Mode, Episode 4. Thanks for watching. I will be back shortly.